I will describe in detail the 8th verse of Rasaratnakara, Rasayankhand. In this explainer, we're going to unpack the incredible layers of meaning hidden right within this specific verse. We'll explore exactly how it masterfully bridges the gap between raw, physical medicine and profound spiritual consecration. The original Devanagari script of verse 8, preserved in a beautiful 1939 edition of the manuscript, carries so much history. But, before we can fully grasp its profound significance and why it sits exactly where it does in the text, we really have to backtrack briefly to the very beginning of the Prathama Upadesha, or the first teaching. We need to understand the overarching context to see exactly what this 8th verse is actually preparing the practitioner for. Section 1, the pursuit of dahasati. The entire foundation of this alchemical text is built on a single powerful idea introduced right in the opening lines. Right out of the gate in the Rasayankhand, the author Nityanatha Siddha explicitly praises this concept. Verses 1 and 2 establish that literally all human perfections, spiritual achievements, and ultimate liberation are completely dependent on a perfected physical form. It totally flips the script on the idea that the body is just some illusion to be discarded. Instead, the text argues that the body is an essential, fortified vehicle required for ultimate enlightenment. It's a real game changer. So what is dehasiddhi? It translates literally to the perfection of the body. It's a foundational belief in Indian alchemical traditions that insists the physical vessel absolutely must be made flawless, robust, and completely immune to decay before any deeper therapeutic or spiritual work even begins. Think about it. You just can't hold immense spiritual power in a fragile vessel, right?
Section 2, detoxification, covering verses 3 and 4.
To actually achieve this flawless vessel, the text doesn't just leave you guessing. It offers a highly systematic medical protocol. It lays out the physical groundwork through Rasayana Sevanasya Purvakarma, basically the preparatory actions you take before jumping into Rasayana. It dictates that intense internal cleansing has to be initiated. And it doesn't just say, hey, cleanse yourself. No, it specifies that this rigorous medical intervention must begin on a carefully chosen auspicious day. It's all about aligning your physiological readiness with cosmic timing. The Rasaratnakara strictly sequences these bodily actions. Step 1 is vamana, which is therapeutic emesis, meant to aggressively clear the upper digestive tract. And then step 2 is rechana, or therapeutic purgation, to completely clear the lower tract. Now make no mistake, this isn't some gentle weekend detox. It is a profound systemic reset of your entire digestive and metabolic systems, designed to entirely eradicate foundational impurities before introducing those super powerful alchemical compounds. Section 3, classical substances and formulations. Following that intense mechanical cleansing of vamana and rechana, the text lists a precise combination of classical Ayurvedic substances. These are to be processed and consumed over a period of 3 days. This brilliantly illustrates the highly empirical nature of this tradition. It's incredibly specific about the pharmacology required to stabilize the body after the massive shock of purgation. These essential purificatory substances form a truly powerful matrix. The formulation integrates potent herbs like vacha, which is sweet flag, and kushta, or Indian costus root, right alongside triphala, which we all know as a famous tridoshic balancer. It adds saintava, or rock salt, to really penetrate deep into the tissues, along with devidaru and musta. And all of this is carried straight into the body's cells by grita, or clarified butter. From a modern toxicological perspective, this isn't just arbitrary ancient guessing. These botanicals contain active compounds scientifically known to stimulate hepatic function and promote cellular waste clearance. This specific matrix is purpose-built to pacify any remaining physiological imbalances and aggressively extract deep-seated residual toxins over those 3 days. Section 4, analyzing verse 8 and the spiritual transition. Okay, so this intense, multi-day physical purification protocol brings us exactly to our core focus for this explainer, the pivotal 8th verse. Here, the text does something fascinating. It dramatically shifts gears. After meticulously detailing vomiting, purgation, salts, and roots, it suddenly elevates from raw physical medicine right back to profound spiritual prerequisites. Let's hear exactly how the Roman transliteration of the Sanskrit sounds. Evam vishuddha dehistu pujaya devatam gurum, kumarim yogini chakram tata kuryad rasayanam. To truly unpack this, we need to examine the anvai, that's the logical, syntactic connection of these words, alongside their deeper semantics. Evam vishuddha dehistu translates to having thus purified the body. Notice that prefix V in Vishuddha. It implies an extraordinary, absolute purification, directly referencing the intense toxicological clearance we just talked about. Then, Pujaya Devatam Gurum commands the worship of the deity and the guru. Next, Kumarim Yogini Chakram invokes the Virgin and the circle of yoginis. And finally, Tata Kuryad Rasayanam concludes with, thereafter one should perform Rasayana. Now, what is really worth learning here is how this compares to other classical texts. We see similar, super strict injunctions in the Charaka Samhita's medical chapters on chemistry, as well as in alchemical works like Rasarnava and Somdev's Rasendra Chudamani. All of them mandate psychological fortification before consuming heavy metals or potent botanical extracts. If we do a modern scientific review, particularly through the lens of psychoneuroimmunology, or PNI for short, we now understand that a patient's belief, reverence, and psychological state directly, physically influence their autonomic nervous system and immune response. So the mental framing mandated by this verse is arguably a highly sophisticated mechanism to ensure the body's neuroimmune network is fully receptive and historically prepared for the massive physiological stress of alchemical therapy. The crucial point is really revealed when we compare the literal translation to its deeper philosophical meaning. Literally, it lays out a sequence of specific venerations, but philosophically, it establishes a hard boundary. It insists that physical detoxification is entirely incomplete without spiritual consecration. But you might be wondering, why these specific entities? Well, the historical belief and symbolism here run deep. Honoring the Devatam, or deity, aligns the practitioner's individual consciousness with cosmic will, a total necessity when you're tampering with the building blocks of life and matter. The guru represents the earthly guide and the unbroken lineage of knowledge. In alchemy, a single methodological error can literally be fatal, making the master's grace synonymous with safety. The Kumari, or Virgin, is a profound symbol of unmanifested, pure potential energy, completely untainted by the world. And finally, the Yogini Chakram, the circle of yoginis, represents the esoteric dynamic forces of nature and the elements themselves. By paying homage to these four pillars, cosmic alignment, empirical methodology, pure potential, and elemental forces, the practitioner is essentially weaving a comprehensive safety net. Modern scientific evidence might reframe this as psychological grounding or psychosomatic preparation, but the classical claim remains rock solid. You absolutely cannot safely transmute the body using powerful Rasayana elements without first transmuting the mind. The mind must be as structurally sound as the purged body. Which leaves us with a truly fascinating question to ponder. If these intense medical detoxifications, highly specific botanical formulations, and incredibly strict spiritual consecrations are literally just the warm-up, how immensely powerful are the actual alchemical secrets that follow in the rest of this incredible text? The preparation alone requires absolute dedication. The main event must be nothing short of extraordinary.